Today we are talking about cinema and screens and how poor are represented on it. Let's talk about how cinema betrays poor people. In movies, poor people are either angels or demons, either naive sages or violent drug dealers. But where are real people? Those who struggle silently with dignity. Those who are complex, intelligent, tired, and also funny. Today, we're not just offering criticism. We're putting something on trial. We are trial the way they are represented. Here are the top 3 betrayals and roles given to poor people on big and small screens. Top 1. The poor fairy, the popular wisdom. The homeless philosopher, the worker who has no education but who has the true science of life. The analysis of this, their practical intelligence and real skills are denied in order to label them with a cheap spirituality. It's a way of saying they are poor but they have pure souls, which is just as contemptuous. Number 2, the poor criminal, the social fate. The drug dealer, the robber, the orphan case. The analysis is poverty is automatically used to explain crime, denying any people agency or nuances. This is convenient for the middle class and the rich class. It creates another monster for which we don't have to feel responsible. Poor people are bad because they are poor and seek at all costs to harm the middle and the upper classes. Thank you for the lesson from the ground floor or rather the gutter. And 3, the poor and invisible, the backdrop. The cleaning lady who cleans an office without saying a word, the worker who walks through the field, the homeless woman in the subway who is a little scary. The analysis is this. Poverty as a setup to the life of the rich and the heroes, a backdrop. She has no story, no name, no inner life. She is literally erased. To illustrate this reality, let's take La Palme d'Or, the Golden Palm of Cannes Festival 2019. I saw it in the Cannes Festival and knew from the first viewing that this film would win the Palme d'Or. Why? Because for decades, cinema and particularly major French and European events have had only one objective: to serve the propaganda of the wealthy ruling classes. As you may have guessed, I'm referring to a Bong Joon-ho film, Parasite. The movie tells the story of how a poor family living below the poverty line devises a plan to break into the home of a very wealthy family and take their place. In speeches, in uncensored criticism, in the author's words, it is a critique denouncing the huge gaps between social classes and injustice in the quality of life, ultimately making us wonder who is the real parasite. But once again, cinema and movie industry present the poor in a way that appeals to and suits to the wealthy in power. Animals thirsty for wealth who become brilliant cheaters to achieve their goal. This criticism is officially adored because it never reveals what the real problem is. This satire is adored because it does not show how the rich actively build a system to keep the majority of population into poverty. It is a criticism that flatters the intelligence of the middle class or upper classes audiences without ever really threatening it. The poor in cinema must systematically serve the profound thinking of the dominant rich who pay for the film production and authorize its distribution. Otherwise, the film will never be financed, let alone shown in theaters. The masses must not be allowed it to wake up. The solution? Become storytellers. Write and produce our own stories, the real stories. Demand nuance. Boycott works that recycle this cliché and works that serve a propaganda for the upper classes. Support curators from diverse social backgrounds, not just superficial diversity. And to do that, we also need to check who is pulling the strings behind the scenes. Because many of these so-called storytellers of reality are already corrupt puppets in the service of the extreme right. Let's stop asking for a seat at their table. Let's build our own table with our own rules and our own stories. As long as some screens remain free, Now is the time to act. Write down under this video screen with the worst cliché about poor people you've seen recently. See you soon for the next episode of Script My Life.